If you have ever said the words like, I need more money or we need more funding, this video is for you. Because what if I told you that money was just a tool and it wasn't an actual need? Like, I know you're already thinking, like, what in the world? Like, please, come on, you don't know nothing. But let me cook just a second. Let me give you just a minute. And I'm going to walk you back through a couple of things. And I'm just asking you to come on a little journey with me. So, first of all, I know we all thinking like more money, more money, more money. But money is not an actual need. So, I'm going to first tell you a little story. I am in the Goldman Sachs Black in Business program. And one of the very first things we do or did was have to write a letter to money. Like, it was really on taking us on this journey of healing our inner entrepreneur, getting us into a CEO mindset, and really just healing that relationship and understanding our relationship with money and how it factors into the way we do business and the way we interact with our customers and the way we do everything. And I found it really, really interesting because it was following a conversation that I had had with a mentor, and I was walking him through one of the organizations, and we were just in this like struggle survivability mindset in this time period where I just felt like we weren't going to be able to get past anything else until we got the funding that we needed, because we were just in this kind of, it's a strange place, right? And I feel like we've all been there. All nonprofits have been there where we're just like, we just need funding. We just need funding to get us to the next quarter. We just need funding to get us into the new year. And it's such a common place, but we're all just operating on this like this struggle mindset, and this scarcity mindset is ultimately what it is. And we're just in survival mode and we can't get into the next mode because of it. But a lot of it is because of our mentality and thinking around funding and around money. And so I was talking to my mentor about all of this, and he was like, money is just a tool. And so I was just like you. I was like, uh, but ultimately, as he explained it to me, and as we walked through this journey of really thinking about what the real needs were, I think it really began to heal my understanding of money and what it could be used for and the purpose of it, and realize that in some ways I had been walking nonprofits through this journey for the long time and maybe just didn't always have the right words to explain what I meant. So as I have gone through this journey, I am now taking you with me. We've got the words, we've got the phrases, we've got the full understanding, and I am giving it back to you because that's what we do. We do everything I learned, you learn too. Everything I know, you gonna know too. But I want to take you really on this real journey of healing your understanding of money and helping you actually get the funding that you need for your organization so that you have a better understanding of what that looks like, of what sustainability looks like, of what impact looks like, and what you can actually do if you stop focusing on the money. But even through all of that, this is actually going to help you get grants. It's actually going to help you get more funding. So let's go. Let's talk. Let's do this. So goal number one, of course, is just to really rethink your relationship with money, right? I think as a culture, we have always equated success with money. So like the more money you have, the more successful you are. Same with nonprofits. The more money you have, the bigger your nonprofits. Clearly, you are like doing the most. And I would argue that we need to rethink that, right? Often smaller organizations that are on the like front line that have smaller budgets are actually having the most impact because honestly, they're building community, right? Instead of chasing these grants, they're building community, they're building capacity, they're starting on the ground floor, and they're getting really super resourceful about how they do things and how they operate because they haven't had that, right? And so the idea here is to really start to reframe our relationship with money and rethink about how we do things and how we focus on building capacity and community in our systems and our operations, instead of just chasing those grants, instead of just chasing money, because money might fund the solution, but it's not going to solve your problems, right? Because it's not an actual need. So when we say, hey, I need funding, I want you to think, like, for what? Like, what is that money for? Because now we need to learn to get really super specific and identify what that actual need is. Because it's not money, right? Money is just the tool. Money is just the way that we're going to fund the solution. But we need to figure out what that actual need is, because it's not just the money, right? So I want you to think like, hey, like we need money. This is what you're thinking, right? And now we're going to reframe it, and we're like, but what do we need that money for, right? Let's start digging in and figure out what that actual real need is. So what are you going to use the money for, right? Are we trying to hire someone? Great. A human being is not necessarily a need either, right? So what is it that we need that person to do? What is it that we are expecting that person to do or to accomplish? Right? We're digging in deep. We're asking, what is it for? We're asking why. We're going to dig deeper and deeper and deeper until we have no more answers left. And that is how we're going to figure out what this real need is, right? So like, do you need a marketing manager, or is the actual need just needing to connect to your community and needing to connect to your audience, right? Because you're like, hey, we need to hire a marketing person. Well, why are we hiring a marketing person? What are they doing? Well, we're trying to build awareness. We're trying to get out there. So as we're digging deeper and asking more questions, we're figuring out the real need is for people to know that we're here, right? It's to connect to the community. It's to connect to our audience. It's to connect to the people that we want to serve. That's the need, right? The need is to get in front of the community. And that's where we start. So sometimes we think, hey, we're going to use this money for software, or so I'm like, well, what do we need the software for, right? What is that software going to do? And as we dig deeper, we're probably learning, hey, that software is going to help us manage some emails. It's going to help us manage our systems. So like, why do we need to manage the systems? Do we need to be more efficient, right? So we're getting down to the nitty gritty of needs, where we're finding out, oh, what we really need is just a more efficient system, right? And so I'm really encouraging you guys to kind of just to self-audit, right? To dig deep, to keep getting in. And like, even why do you need a more efficient system? Are things like too slow? Are things not happening quick enough? Are things getting lost? Like, we need to figure out what the real need is and what the real impact is for your organization. And once you have done that, then we can really start to look at like our top 3 needs, right? And identify what those really represent and where the real problems are, and figure out what really needs to be solved. And then next, after we have really recognized, changed our mindset, and then dove deep into figuring out what those real needs are, now we need to figure out some alternative paths, right? Because maybe money is not the solution to that. Like, this is where we can start to brainstorm like how we can do this with or without money, right? Maybe what we actually need is just more people, more help. So could that possibly look like different partnerships or collaborations, different volunteers, student interns? Some of these things need money to fund, right? Because money can fund the solution, but it's not the solution, right? So that's what we have to start thinking about. Is it like the tools, right? Can we find some software that's actually free that can help us out? Can we share some resources with a different partnership? Or can we get some in-kind donations instead of actually paying for these things? And then when we talk about like visibility, like maybe that's another collaboration. You notice collaboration, it's happened a lot. That's my thing. That's what we do around here. We love to collaborate, we love to partner, we love these mutually beneficial collaborations as well. And so if you're wanting to learn more about what that looks like, I'll link a video below or point it somewhere. We're going to get you to a video. But there's also like just engagement and collaboration with like your local media, right? Can we send out just a press release to get people to understand? Can we get on a local radio show? Can we talk with a local influencer or do an Instagram or Facebook live? Like, what are ways that we can get that visibility and get that awareness and bring those things without maybe costing us money? Some of these things are still going to cost money. Sometimes there's no way around that, right? But we're getting specific and we know exactly what the need is, what that money is going to fund, and then also just how it's going to impact the organization and what that's really going to help with. So now I know I promised you that this is actually going to help you get grants, and you're probably like, when are we getting to that? We're getting to that right now. This is what we are talking about right now, because the way it helps you fund your grants is basically helping you to get crystal clear on your goals, right? And it's helping you to build realistic budgets and really stronger justifications for the money that you need. Because now we know that we're not just needing like a random $5,000, right? We're actually needing $6,000 because we need that specific software. We need, this very specific table or piece of equipment. And we know exactly how much all of that stuff cost, because when you get really clear about your goals, when you get really clear about your impacts, when you have these strong justifications for exactly how much stuff costs, you funders start to notice, right? They're like, oh, these people know exactly how this money is going to be used, and they know exactly why they need it, and they know the exact need, and they know exactly what it's going to do. And I think it's really important to really think about that and to know and to understand, because this is where a lot of grants get denied and where funders are just like kind of done. I have a statistics. It's not on my mind right now. Maybe I'll drop it below, but this is where a lot of grants kind of get kicked to the side because they have really weak budget narratives, right? They're like, just kind of just give this money. We're doing great work and we just need the money. But when you get really clear about why you need the money, when you get really clear about what that need is, when you get really clear about what that impact could possibly look like, and not just what you're doing now, but what you could possibly do in the future because of this, because we've really sat down and thought about our needs, because we've gotten really, really clear about what this budget looks like, that's going to get noticed, right? That's way more impressive than maybe we're going to spend like $20,000 on a person or an intern and they're like, how is that going to work? Because, it costs more than $20,000 for people to work often, unless they're working like super part time. But when you get really clear and and that is way more impressive than anything else. And I want you to recognize, because I often kind of tell people to dream big and, think big. And I want you to still do that. I want you to reach for the stars, but I also want you to be able to back it up with like real reasoning, right? I want those dream budgets and those things to be realistic, right? Like, we don't want just a random $1 million budget, because what is that $1 million going to, right? We need to be really crystal clear about what that looks like, where that money is going to go. And also, just another little thing is making sure that we have the capacity to actually handle that kind of money, right? So all of that just kind of brings us back to this mindset of not chasing the money, right? We're instead getting into clarifying needs. And that way we're taking back control. We're moving from like scarcity to strategy. And we're recognizing that we don't need money to move forward. We just need clarity, right? Clarity is what is going to put us back in control. Clarity is going to help us to understand. Clarity is going to help us to write better grants and really make this work and get really, really good with our impact. So if you have been saying that we need money, we're going to stop saying that, right? We're going to stop saying that we need money, and we're going to start defining and getting really, really clear about what our organization actually needs. Like, what is the real need? And if you want some help walking through this, please schedule a consultation with me. Let's do a really strategic planning session, right? Let's get down into the nitty gritty and figure out what it's going to really take to get your organization where you want to go. And until then, just remember that money is a tool and not the goal. Okay, I'm done. I'm done.